in the world, I guess. I looked into the study just a little bit, or the newspaper article basically, and it does seem that most of the indicators are economic ones, I noted. I'd be curious what you think about that. And I think that there's thank you. Thank you. Is it okay if I stay like this? Right, okay. But I suppose this is largely what we're here to talk about today, right? Which is, are there different quality of life indicators beyond GDP, income, housing, safety, that matter to the well-being and functioning of society? And can we measure these? And can the arts specifically contribute to these? Yeah, it's good. It's good. You have like a supporting role. I feel like we should know your name or something. Okay, thanks. Okay. Thanks very much. Okay. So in the UK and in the US, and I think here as well, it's become quite common to tout our economic impact in the arts. And I have to be honest, I've long been a skeptic of this. In part, I guess first and foremost, because I worry that when we start trotting out statistics, KPIs like the number of hotel beds that we're filling, that we need to be very worried that if at some point we're not filling hotel beds, that we will be seen to be less valuable to society somehow because we've hooked ourselves, our value to that particular indicator, when in fact there isn't something much more meaningful that we do that is unique to the arts. Other businesses can, in fact, fill hotel beds. So ultimately, I think these arguments undermine our more essential purpose or a different case of value. And perhaps among those, the fact that we contribute to the trust and mutual understanding that underpin a civil society and make, among other things, economic trading possible, right? So it's this sort of underlying effect. So perhaps the underlying question, and I guess I should have started, I don't know, I got a little distracted with the microphones by saying I'm going to talk for a few minutes to introduce the subject, and then I'm going to let each of my colleagues here present, and then we'll open up for questions and hope to get you engaged. So I think perhaps one of the underlying questions for me is, can or should happiness, because this is a growing area of research, be one of our arguments? Bhutan, as I think probably many of you have heard, now has its gross domestic happiness instead of GDP that it measures. Are there similar indicators that we should be looking at? Should we be part of these indicators within our societies? So about 6 months ago, a fellow arts blogger, I have a blog called Jumper, and there's another blogger named Clay Lord who writes New Beans. And some of you may, Counting New Beans, some of you may know his book because Alan Brown, I know, has been out here to work with you on the intrinsic